that will grow the productive sector, that will provide jobs, that will raise incomes and that will give them the brighter future they deserve.
I call the Honourable Shane Jones.
Mr Chair, if there was ever an example where volume and mock rage is inversely related to content, we've seen it from that member from the South Island, as indeed, sir, we had a contribution from someone while he chaired the Finance and Expenditure Committee prior to joining the racing industry, where he's been gelded, sir, devoid now of intellectual content, and I only think he ought to come back to the Financial and Expenditure Committee and improve the current quality of chairmanship skills, as revealed, sir, by what was a very tawdry speech. What we are talking about here, sir, is an ideological tract. Now, come the end of the year, sir, Kiwis have a very clear choice. More poverty, more unemployment, ongoing, sir, suffering, wretched lifestyles in the urban poor and the rural poor, sir, or a tidy, very handsome cast of economic beneficiaries, otherwise known as the confreres from overseas, the merchant banking community, who will be the primary beneficiaries of the asset privatisation exercise. So, sir, you have the vast bulk of young New Zealand families all trying to go to Australia because their circumstances day after day, sir, are worsening. Ask the school teachers. Ask Fonterra, sir, why they are having to provide more and more food for free breakfast in Decile 1 schools. Then come back, sir, and tell this House and tell Kiwis that we are on the upward slope. No, sir. That's not what the major corporates are saying, who are actually digging into their own pockets, and so they should, sir. After all, they've been handsomely rewarded by the disproportionately unfair policies of the current government to the vast majority of Kiwis. Ask those Kiwis, Mr English. Now, sir, at the end of the year, the asset sales giveaway is a brilliant public policy debate for us to have. Now, sir, I accept on the other side they genuinely believe by privatising part of these assets will open up a new array of investment opportunities. But, sir, I say to you, who will be the beneficiaries of these investment opportunities? And they, sir, they are trying every trick in the book. Now, of course, Treasury has actually unravelled their key argument, because Treasury has said there cannot be a successful privatisation unless there is a substantial investment from overseas. Yet, sir, they're going back into their own communities and quietly telling Kiwis, this is a good idea, you will enjoy some sort of Thatcher-like psychic experience. You'll suddenly become a prosperous shareholding democracy. Except, sir, the tiny number of Kiwis who are going to have that opportunity, once again disproportionate beneficiaries of this wretched tax giveaway that Mr English introduced several years ago, just shows Kiwis, sir, as a consequence of the paucity of our own savings, they don't want to acquiesce. They don't want to see the current government preside over the dilution of what slender wealth, sir, we've still got left in our country. And that's why that's a brilliant issue, sir, to fight this election on. Now, sir, there's the predictable misinformation as to our tax reform policy. But the key point is the average Kiwi, sir, the average Kiwi is going to be $100 better off per week as a consequence of these policies. Now, sir, Kiwis will respond to that type of incentive. They won't respond to the puffery. They won't respond, sir, to the rhetoric from the Prime Minister and his friends in their increasingly expensive cars while they drive past and see the bleak, broken windows, sir, in the Tangata Whenua part of town, in the Pacifica part of town, and indeed, sir, in the vast majority of Kiwis who are heading towards Struggler's Gully. Now, somehow, sir, that statement of accuracy is regarded as non-aspirational, regarded as non-patriotic. But, sir, those members who are in charge of their offices and are close to the community they purport to represent, which unfortunately does not include Mr Bennett, he's really actually where he belongs. But that's another matter. So, sir, we know that at the beginning of this debate we were going to come under some fairly significant attacks. But the facts are clear. As a consequence of this tax reform package, $100 and a host of other initiatives into the pockets of Kiwis. I designed, sir, to ensure that there is money available in the kitty to deal with the issues of their children. But, sir, what families are telling us that this budget failed upon are the thousands, and indeed, sir, in my case, the 16,000 young Māori, 30%, sir, between the age of 25 and 15 unemployed. and no opportunity, sir, to go on with any meaningful training. Now, so those are the issues that are going to motivate Kiwis at the end of the year. Not, sir, all these hollow and empty promises that will benefit a narrow cast of economic beneficiaries.
I call the honourable member David Bennett.
Thank you, Mr Chair. It's good to speak on vote finance, and for those listening, that was Shane Jones.